It's line dancing, right? That is line dancing.
Line dancing kind of pumped up a bit, and it was tricky.
Wait, what way?
I mean, I hurt. I've got to confess. Well, I think, and I couldn't figure it out. I was like, wait a second, 7-year-olds and 70-year-olds do line dancing, and they're kind of like, hey, how was your day? Da, da, da. It's like, no, you know, it's totally easy for people who do it. So I actually had to ask the dancers on the day we were learning the choreography, because they're doing much more than I do as well, but they were puffing and panting more than usual. I said, guys, how are you finding it? And they said, actually, it's quite tricky, and we realised that your top half is so straight, and it's probably like Irish jigging, and the bottom half's doing all the hard work, and it's just very different to, I think, what I would normally do, which is more kind of, I don't know, kind of fluid movement and kind of hips and waist and shoulders and all of that. And going 1 and 2 and 3 and 6. And if you came off, if you didn't, like if you lost one beat, you're off.
I'm no expert in line dancing, obviously.
You're not?
I'm not.
Really?
No, I'm not.
Oh,
it might come as a surprise to
me.
both of you, but I think the trick is it not, to get your thumbs into your belt.
Yeah.
Once you've got that position, you're kind of...
Yeah.
Is that right?
And I can tell you that for a fact, because one of the outfits in the video, I had jeans and was able to do that. The other one I didn't, and it really made a huge difference.
You made a huge mistake.
Yeah, error.
A huge
Rookie
mistake.
error.
Didn't have Charlie as your choreographer.
Now, country music traditionally has a habit of people wearing their heart on their sleeves in their songs. I mean, there's always that sort of feeling often attached to it.
Yeah.
And you have embraced that in this album. Would that be fair to say?
Absolutely.
Because there's a lot of your own personal story played out in some of the songs.
Yeah. And also to be able to have songs with comedy in it. There's, I mean, well, humour. There's a song called A Lifetime to Repair, which is just kind of going, you're throwing your hands in the air going, well, maybe I'll get it right one day. Do I want it? Will it ever be right? Am I too scared? Like, you know, all of those kind of questions.
Was it cathartic or was it painful? Or was it both?
It was great. It was great.
Because well, I should put this into context. It was after a breakup. Your fans are keeping a very close eye on kind of what you were doing, and you were quite, I think, quite straight about how much that hurt you, and you needed to take some space.
What hurt the most was that I feel like I lost myself. So the first few months back in the studio, I just knew that I was a little bit broken, and not heartbroken, just a bit broken in myself. Like I'd kind of allowed myself to get it to a place that was not good. So initially I would say it was cathartic, and I, you know, blah, 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 all the kind of song, all the things that I just needed to get out of my system were written then. And to my relief now, I didn't know it at the time, but they weren't very good songs. So everything that was good came about 6 months afterwards, when this Nashville part arrived. So for me, the album's not about heartbreak. It's about acceptance of where I found myself at that point in time in my life. Looking back very honestly at what I've done well, what I haven't done so well, where I hope to get to. So really more about emotions and how they play out in life.
How are you with nostalgia? Do you like a bit of nostalgia? You like looking back? Let's have a look.
What are you about to show me?
You'll like it.
Enjoy this moment with us.
Okay.
Look up this way.
Oh.
Well, so when you look back through those things, it's funny that some artists are kind of a bit like, oh, well, that was then. And
Going under the couch.
Yeah, but you were kind
Making an
of,
escape.
you were actively kind of embracing it and just talking through each kind of look and each time.
Yeah, look, I've done so many embarrassing things that you can run but you can't hide. So, yeah, I do look back with affection and nostalgia on all of those things.
I saw your gig here in Manchester, which was in a very small venue.
Gorilla.
At Gorilla,
Yeah.
absolutely packed with, I honestly think, the most adoring fans I've ever seen of any artist ever. And you almost did a stand-up routine because there was a lot of banter between you and the audience.
There was a lot of banter. And, you know, I used to be terrified of talking on stage. They'd say, oh, you've got to do a chat here. And I'd go to pieces. And now it's like, I'm kind of like, come on, Minogue, let's crack on, get on with the music. I love interacting with the crowd, but they were vocal.
Yes, they were. And there was a chap standing right next to me who shouted out midway through. There was a sort of quiet moment. You shout out, "There's Jason," and you embraced the moment completely and just kind of went with it, and it turned into a song.
It turned into an impromptu. I can't remember if the band joined in or not, but we sang especially for you.
And they loved it.
I loved it, actually. It was great.
Now you're approaching 50. I know you don't. I'm sure you don't mind me saying this.
No.
Is this the you thought you would be?
I tell you what, life is feeling really, really good right now. And I've heard other people say around this time in their life, I don't know. I mean, something must happen. Also, I've got an album I'm so proud of. I know I put everything into it. Like I say, it was a year of just rebuilding myself and getting to know myself again and how I fit into the world and what I want. So it's good.
When you start out in the industry, you must have had so many different ideas about where you would go and also have no clue about where you'd go. And I'm really interested in terms of how the industry is changing, in terms of women. When you look back, do you think you would say you're happy with how you were corralled or pushed or guided?
More or less. Yeah, I think that suited my personality. I didn't know what I was doing. I just had to. That's why I've got plenty of, you know, less than stellar moments because I basically learned everything on the job. It's not like I was performing and doing gigs and then I became famous and then I released a record. It was all the other way around. So I never felt like I had to fight as a woman. I just had to fight as a person and as an artist.
Are you happy? You seem happy.
I'm really happy. Yeah.
I'm really
Thank
pleased. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thanks for decking out the studio.
Hey, it's all for you. It's all for you. You can stay.
I love it. I'll be leaving with the disco ball. Thanks.
She did actually leave with the glitter ball because it's not here. So it's gone.
She took it. New album's called Golden. It's time for a last